Hi, I'm Alessandro Gerotto. I'm a sales manager of the company Gerotto. This is our customer from Singapore, Danny Chua. Danny, tell us about something about your company and your services, please.
Thanks a lot, Alessandro. It's nice to be back here in Italy again. My company is from Singapore. We specialize in services like tank cleaning, blasting, and painting, primarily in the oil and gas industry. So we work with refineries, chemical producers, and any type of plants that actually uses storage tank for storage and processing. So we go into these tanks and we carry out the cleaning process for them.
Okay, thank you very much. What encouraged you to improve a better solution for your works in the refinery?
Working in the refineries is dangerous. It's even more dangerous when you're talking about chemical tanks, because in the chemical tanks you have got a lot of poisonous and dangerous gases. So it is a very dangerous environment. And traditionally, we are putting people in this confined space or tanks to carry out the dangerous job of cleaning. So you have to have a lot of safety procedures in place, a lot of equipments to ensure that the workers can work safely inside. So I thought to myself that it is not possible for people to continue working in such environment simply because we care for our people who work for us. We always believe that whoever is working for us is someone else, parent, child, spouse, whatever. So when they come to work for us, it's very important that as the employer, we take good care of them to make sure that every day they return home safe and sound to their family. Now, the only way we could do is to eliminate the type of risks that are associated with people. And the only way is to come up with robots, equipments that could actually do the job of a human being without a human being inside such dangerous environment. So that was the main driving point for us to embark on this new technology and to change the way we work. And we believe that not only these robots could eliminate the risks that might be associated with people, we think that there will be a lot of improvement in terms of productivity. And productivity is important because you are trying to either reduce your costs so that you remain competitive, but at the same time, your bottom line, the ability to make profits, is essential as well. So what we are doing here when we decide to embark on this technology is not just to improve safety and to improve productivity as well. And these are the main driving points that got us moving.
So, thank you, Dan. Where you adopt this technology in the refinery, especially in the refinery?
Yes. Yeah, we adopted this in the refinery and any kind of chemical plants. The reason why it's because in the refineries, they have a lot of tanks that they need to upkeep and to maintain. So
Oil tanks,
tanks, chemical tanks,
okay.
what have you. You know. And the funny thing is, every tank is different. So you need to have a type of system that is able to be customized and work for different types of tanks in order to provide the solution.
Danny, what pushed you to develop this machine in Italy?
It is not easy to develop such machines. I have to be honest with you. You need to produce it and make sure that it is explosion-proof and in compliance with all the safety regulations and requirements. for the refineries. We're not talking about the local authorities' regulation. We are also talking about the stringent safety requirements of the refineries. So it's not easy to produce a machine like that. You know, a machine that is produced cannot be purchased or bought off the shelf. It has got to be customized, it has got to be custom made to fit the purpose. And I was saying every tank has its own personality or character. So it's very important that you have a machine that's able to fit inside the tank and able to carry out the job. Why in Italy? Or for that matter, I think you should say, why Gerotto?
Yeah, exactly.
I spent close to 1 year to find the right people in Singapore who could make a machine like that. And it is not only difficult to make, you need to have a lot of certification that comes together with a machine so as to assure the refineries or the plant owners that the machine is actually certified by all the notable bodies that it is safe to work in such environments. I couldn't find any of such companies in Singapore and in other parts of the world until I met Gerotto from Italy. So I decided to go along with them, and the first time I met them here in Italy, I was deeply impressed. I have to admit that, they were ready to listen to me, and they were prepared to go through great length just to make sure that whatever that they're about to produce is workable in the type of environment that we have. We needed someone who could listen to us. And the machine producer, Gerotto, needed someone to teach them or to tell them how to make the robots that they are looking for. So that's the reason why I decided to have this machine made here in Italy with Gerotto.
May you describe this tank cleaner, please?
Sure. What you see at the back is actually two different classes of tank cleaners machines. The one on the upper deck is otherwise known as the FTC. Now, the FTC is actually used for smaller tanks that are normally found underground. Underground tanks are a little bit complex in the sense that you have very limited access into these tanks. Traditionally, to clean such tanks, we would normally deploy manpower to climb right underneath the tank and start cleaning. But with this FTC, which is actually very lightweight, it allows it to be lowered into the underground tank. And once it's inside, it can actually lift up its arm remotely and open up its 3 nozzles. And the nozzle can turn in 180 degrees, which is actually very suitable for underground tanks because they are normally cylinder tanks. So this is actually very useful for underground tanks and smaller tanks. Now, the other class of tank cleaners that you're looking at behind me is otherwise known as the auger. Now, the auger is very, very special because it actually caters for tanks with very hard and sticky sludge. If you notice in front of the auger, what you get is actually a scoop that allows you to collect this thick, sticky sludge, and then subsequently to be pumped back out into the vacuum truck or the disposal bins. Now, if you're talking about the traditional method of doing it, you are talking about putting 12 or 18 people into the tank to use the traditional spade to scoop it up and then bring it out. But what you have here is a robot that actually does exactly the same type of job of collecting this sticky and hard sludge. And with a pump, you could actually scoop it up and then get it pumped outside the tank. So you're actually saving a lot, and I really mean a lot, in terms of the labor and the number of people, because putting people in there is not just dangerous, like I mentioned, It's also a very, very tedious job that we're talking about here. But with this auger, you just have got to have only 3 people who deploy or who actually control this robot from outside the tank, away from the dangerous environment, and it does exactly what a human being would do in order to remove this sludge here.
Thank you very much, Dan. It was a very good description of our tank cleaner. This is the new name that we want to give this technology. Listen, Dan, what are your plans for the future?
It's a good question. I have got huge plans for the future. This method, the traditional method of putting manpower in the tank, it's still prevalent and commonly found around the world. I have tried this robots, and it has been tried, tested, and proven to be successful. So my long-term plan, our goal, is to actually bring these robots and introduce to them to the rest of the world. Because I think that human beings shouldn't be placed in such a dangerous environment to carry out such jobs. They should be done by the robots. And my long-term goal is to make sure that this equipment or these new methods of working get spread around the world.
Thank you very much, Dan,
You're
for
most
your
welcome.
time.
You're most welcome.
It was a very good interview
My pleasure.
and a very good time together. Thank you.
Thanks for having me here in Italy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.